Hi friends, I'm so excited you're here. I'm just going to go through card by card. They may not be in your packet in that order, but the packet that you're looking for is going to be this packet. Has the black cardstock in it. There's a little Ziploc bag with everything you need and 2 pieces of pre-scored cardstock. This is the beauty that we're making. Let me take it out of the package so you can see. It's a fun fold, a super simple fun fold, but we're gonna go ahead and get started. All right, so the first thing I did is I have a 3x6 that I have scored in half, so it's 3x3. I have an 8.5 by 5.5 that I have also scored at 4 1/4. And then I also scored, so it was 2 1/8 and 4 1/4 to get this kind of little accordion fold. I'm going to go ahead and crease all of my items. This one is super simple. I put your background paper in here in the order that it needs to assemble. So what that means is take it out, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for some reason, if you mix it up, no big deal. You could probably tell how it goes together by just putting it all together, because I pulled everybody's paper out of their package and cut each page so it would match. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is get those glued down in order. Just gonna put a little bit of the mono glue, which is the mono liquid glue, on the back of each one and center it in its panel. Remember, this glue, a little goes a long way. I hope I'm staying in frame for you guys. It's hard to tell because I can't see. I need to get myself a dual so I can see what I'm doing. But anyways, we're gonna keep going here. I'm gonna center up and down, and then on this one, I'm just doing about the same amount of distance from the score line that the other was on. Press that down, and then the last piece is the navy blue piece, and I'm going to do the same thing, so we have kind of a good same distance. Okay, now for this piece, I'm going to turn it over, and on the side on the back that's flat with no scores, I'm going to glue this on. And I'm just going to kind of center it. Don't worry if you get that little bit of glue. You can take something and clean it up later. But I'm going to wrap it around. So I'm only gluing the one side. So now I have this flap. Okay. While I'm here, and before I have anything on it, I have for the inside. So on the inside of my card, I had the little spot that you could type a saying. You could write a saying. You could also write on one of these with the white gel pen, but that's the simple. I'm going to go ahead and put that on. So same thing. This is just a 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 piece to go on. Oops. It's the nice thing about the green tip. It does move when you need it to, but sometimes you gotta be careful. So anyways, so there's my base card. I'm going to put this aside. Now we're going to make the piece that goes on top. Okay, so embossing. I've pre-cut this decal circle, and for the embossing we're going to use the Versamark pad, which is a pigment-based pad, which means that the ink stays open a little longer, but we kind of want to prepare it before we start. So I'm just going to bring my tools in here, put it aside. Sorry, I have a small area to work with to stay in frame of the camera here. And then this is out of the embossing kit, but I'm just going to kind of rub this over. Be careful, this has got a lot of powder. Basically what it's doing is it's going to remove any static or anything on there that keeps the powder from sticking to it. Put that back out of the way. And then I'm going to stamp my image. So I've already got the saying that says, "Autumn teaches us that change can be beautiful." Now I'm lightly tapping on here because I don't want to get it too flooded with ink, because the font in this stamp, it's got some fine lines and it can plug. So I don't know if you can see that on camera or not, but it's when you're looking at it, you can see a shade darker. Okay, so I am going to next take my tweezers. This also came in the embossing tool kit. I don't think anybody ordered that kit. My little trick is I buy these little clamp tops. Your powders that you got come in these. I just keep them in there so you can see what's in there, or if you want to put it in there for any reason. But the reason I keep it in there is because it's easier to work with. Most of the pieces you're going to be embossing are smaller. So see, I'm just going to dump that in there. I have it with my tweezers, and then also come in the kit, I'm just going to take off any little extra. I'm going to avoid the lettering so I don't mess it, but I saw a couple little spots, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to cover that back up, and then I'm going to get my heat tool out. Excuse me, my piece is going here, and I have my heat tool here. Now, before I turn this on, I'm going to let you know that I am probably going to do a little bit on the top, and then I'm going to go to the bottom because you won't hear me talking. That's so that this doesn't get blurry. So I'm going to start off to get it kind of going. You'll see when it starts to happen. You'll see the colors start to change. I'm also constantly moving the heat so it doesn't burn. So you can see it's starting to change there. See how it's starting to change? I'm gonna flip it over, and I'm gonna get it from the back side now, okay, to finish it off. And then I'm just gonna come back over here on top and give it one more go. So what that did is, you can see the wording. So we're using the gold powder on this. Your packages came with gold, silver, and bronze. For all the card classes, or all the cards for this class, it's all using gold and bronze. Okay. Now we are going to create our little embellishment. So, oops, in your package, you also had these 3 little leaves. And I'm just going to bring this all together. Of course, we're going to use some dimensionals or some glue. So in this case, I had a little dimensionals. I actually like the mini dimensionals for these, but you can use the others and cut them down too, only because they fit really well on the back side. So I'm going to put 3 of those on, and I'm going to put this leaf kind of right up there before I put my circle. Then the next I'm going to do is my circle. Because I have these out, I'm going to use them. But also, if you don't heat your embossing powder enough, your stuff will just go right off. You can tell this has got a nice good finish. It's got texture to it. It's not going to rub away. So I've got my there. And then I'm just going to add my other 2 little leaves. Oops, got some, took the tops off, but not the dimensionals. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add those. And then I'm going to add this one. I think I'm going to add this one that direction. There's no right or wrong, however you want them to look. And I'm just going to go a little under there so they're protection. And then the last thing I'm going to do, normally I would say save this for the end, but since I'm doing the videos and I don't want to mess it up, I don't know where my pick tool is. I'm going to get my pick tool out. I'm going to go ahead and throw on some, oops, of these little goodies. I think we're going to throw in a silver one, just 2 because we don't have any other silvers. And we always going to do, we're always going to go in odd numbers. So I've got 4, 5. It's a design thing, but look at how beautiful that card was and how simple. I almost forgot. We didn't put our bow on here. We gotta do our bow. So your ribbon pack also comes separately. I still have some on the spool. You have enough to do, but not a ton to go over. So I am just gonna take the piece of ribbon in its full form and tie a little tiny bow. And then before I trim it, I'm going to adjust it to the size, pull it tight, adjust it again, only because I don't want to waste a bunch of ribbon, because I need to make sure I have enough. So you each got 1.25 yards of this ribbon, and then you got 1.25 yards of the burlap ribbon, and then you got enough of another ribbon that wasn't part of this package to do another card. So to put that on, I am just going to take a little glue dot, and I'm going to grab that glue dot right there on the roll, and I'm going to find where I want to put it. And I think I'm going to put it right there. Okay. So now my card is done. Now I'm done. Ta-da.